Dig for Victory Day 3. Saturday the 2nd of September. Despite starting out cloudy, it was hot by 9 a.m. on Saturday. We began as usual, with a convoy around the site, doing one complete lap before dropping down to the colliery yard. For a change of display, I opened the Jeep hood, and set the Dodge crane over the top of the Jeep engine. I then got a crate and tool rollout as if I was starting an engine change. There were a couple of other Dodges nearby and Paul was there with his Jeep. It wasn't too long before a convoy of heavy stuff came down, and the yard began to fill up. Soon after that, Andy turned up. Andy only got his Jeep in October last year, so this was his first Beamish in his own Jeep. For the previous 2 years, he's driven my Jeep around when Lynn was exploring elsewhere. After that, it was off to Coffee Corner for morning snacks, and to watch more convoys go by. Back to camp for a late lunch, in time to see Derek try his barber skills on Andy with some mechanical hair clippers. A member of the public even volunteered to have his hair cut. It was then time for the main afternoon convoy. There were quite a few vehicles on that convoy, stretching some distance around the site road. After we completed the circuit, we drove out of the Beamish staff gate, and up the public road to the 1940s farm. Neil and Derek were already there. There is an internal road to the farm, but it is quite steep and only suitable for Jeeps. Using the main road was a safer drive, avoiding all the public walking up the internal farm road. A brass band was playing in the main barn with a small dance floor and seating. After the farm visit, we returned to the colliery, and I did a small photoshoot with my daughter in her new, blue dress, along with the Dodge. On Saturday evening, the museum provided a meal for all the reenactors and vehicle owners, and opened up the Sun Inn pub, for everyone. During public hours, reenactors and vehicle owners aren't allowed to drink or enter the pub. This was our last evening around the log burner, as we'd all be packing up on Sunday evening. Dig for Victory Day 4. Sunday the 3rd of September. The moon was setting over my camp, as we began the last day at Beamish. We set off for the colliery, wanting to get the most out of the day, before we had to start packing up the camp. By this time, we'd already packed much of the bedding into the Jeep trailer out of the way, before it got too hot. We spent some time there, with others from our group coming and going, along with other vehicles. The vehicle displays were constantly changing, giving the public plenty of opportunities to see the vehicles on the move. By late morning, we'd moved on to Coffee Corner. Last year, we had Coffee Corner to ourselves, but this year, other vehicle owners have caught onto its strategic position near the bakery, cafe and toilets. A few times, we had to drive on by, because the spot was occupied. My daughter was in a different dress on Sunday, so we took a few more photos here. On Saturday, I missed out on a morning sausage roll from the bakery, as they'd sold out, but on Sunday, we managed to get some still hot from the oven. By early afternoon, we were back at camp for some more photos and to pack a few more things. We couldn't bring the car and flatbed trailer into the show field, until after 4 p.m., so we weren't in a major hurry to drop the tents. Lynn and my daughter then went to have a look at the 1940s and 1950s farm, and I finished off my look around the dioramas and reenactor displays. Here's just a small selection of those displays. This year, there were displays spread all over the second show field, and it must have been the largest show yet. I took the Dodge out with a friend for another lap, later in the afternoon, stopping at the colliery and Coffee Corner for a while. Derek, Andy and Lynn joined me with the Jeeps for one last trip around the site late in the afternoon, before we finished packing up. We finally had everything packed up, and were ready to roll by 7:30 p.m., the last of our group off the site. We arrived home at 8:10 p.m., as the sun was setting, but it was another couple of hours before everything was unloaded, and the vehicles and trailers were away. We were all very tired, but it had been a great 5 days. Don't forget to like and subscribe.